Okay, I had a request for a video, so here goes. It's starting to look like a tractor again for the second time now being put back together. Some things I got done. The tubes that were on here, one of the fittings broke, so I ended up getting some hoses made. Spent actually $118 on fittings and hoses, and that was kind of dumb because I guess I should have probably looked to see if I can get the steel lines. I'm probably not going to go back, see if I can find another pair of steel lines, because right here behind my exhaust it's pretty close, and actually this fitting is touching my exhaust, so I really don't like that. So I'm going to see if I can find another pair of steel lines and without spending a ton of money. Slid the radiator over because my steering shaft was rubbing the top of my radiator just a little bit inside there, so I actually got my radiator slid over, so that's clear now. I got the whole tractor split and put the bearing back in the carrier for the TA, put it all back together. And after I got it all back together, I'm like, why in the world I couldn't move the TA lever over here? I had to hit it with the hammer again. I'm like, what the heck is going on? I'm like, well, instead of pulling this whole big plate off again, because I have to lift the hydraulic stuff, and this is just a pain in the butt. So before I do that, I'll just take off this little clutch inspection cover here and see what I can find. Well, I took that off and everything looked good inside. I'm like, what the heck? Maybe I'll turn it, see what I can see what's moving. Grabbed a hold of the TA thing, and it moved freely. And that's when it dawned on me that when I put it back together, I didn't put a gasket underneath this, and these bolts that hold it down are actually digging into the cross shaft here for the TA. So I just loosened them up a hair and adjusted the TA up, and it works good now. So that was my fault. And another thing on my fault, when I put these brakes together, the back part here, I didn't orient them right when I bolted them in, so I just got to unbolt them and turn them like 90 degrees and then bolt them back up. I'll be able to put my brakes together. I got the battery box lid on, the seat secured, got my shifter back in, got a knob for on the top, have a sloppy shifter fix in it, and put a little bit of oil underneath this piece right here, and it just works pretty good now. So happy about that. And then right here, got the side of my engine bearer. Actually, there's a piece I was missing. I don't know if I can dig one up here. I kind of have all my parts sitting in these rags. But there's just a little, kind of like a cap that went underneath my rocker arm that pushed my valve down. I was missing one on my number 4 here. I don't know which exhaust side or intake side, but I ended up ordering one and got it in, pulled the rocker arm assembly off. I thought, well, what the heck, since I have it off, I'll just check my push rods. So I started checking my push rods, and might as well see if they're bent or something like that. Well, I'm here, I can't get any closer, right? Well, all of the ones I found were like this. And as you can see, the rub marks, shiny silver, the rub marks from where it was rubbing on the inside. But all 8 are like that. And actually, there's 2 different types of push rods that I dug out of this thing. There's this one. These are 3/8 thick. You can see the bend in it there, but 3/8 thick. And you can see how thin they are at the top. And the other type is only 1/4 inch thick, and they're pretty thick at the top. So I thought, well, maybe when I took this thing apart, there was one thick one and one thin one on each cylinder. I thought, okay, maybe one's intake and one's exhaust. Until I got down here to number 4, and both of them were the thick type. So that didn't work out too well. So I found new push rods for it, and then was talking to a guy I actually met, and found out he did some injector stuff and diesel stuff, so I ended up pulling all 4 of my injectors out and the injector pump, sent it out to him. So huge thanks to Bill for helping me out with this. I'm going to come back with 4 rebuilt injectors and the pump reworked, so I'm kind of excited about that, to actually maybe looking forward to it running like it should. But you can see all the crud that's in behind here. So I got that, and as soon as I get my new push rods, I can put my valve cover back on, put my power steering back on. If I can find new hydraulic lines, I'll get them put on, get the pump back on, brakes back together, and she is ready to roll out the door, hopefully. But that's the only other problems I know of, except for this one. I didn't know if I'd showed it before, but when I got it, it was like this. The guy told me the hub was bad, but I'm wondering if I have a bad wheel bearing, because I don't think my... Oh, I can't really show it, maybe. Yeah, there we go. I have a good, probably 3/8 of an inch, or a little more, slop in and out on my wheel, so I'm just hoping it's a bad wheel bearing. Pull that off and look at that. Address that issue. When I put it back together, I put new bolts in the frame rails here, into the bell housing. Toolbox is bolted back on. Other than that, I think she's pretty well getting close to finished up here. As soon as I get new push rods, get all my fuel stuff back, it'll be ready to try and see how she runs. So, looking forward to that. Give me another, hopefully, week and a half or so, and look for another progress video. So, thanks for watching.